Hey folks, Quillikeen here, and welcome to some more Let's Play Banished. We are in the town of Brussels. This is on hard difficulty, and unlike the first little mini Let's Play that I did, we've got a pretty good understanding of more of the mechanics now. Certainly more than the last time, where we ended up starving half our population the first year and then sending the other half on a death march later on. I mean, that town didn't fail, and in fact, it started to recover pretty well, but I didn't like the look of it. Ultimately, that's why I restarted, and I wanted something that just looked and felt a little bit better right from the beginning with, a few more lessons learned. And then, hopefully we will extend things. I'm going to assign one worker here, just to get rid of the question mark more than anything else, because it was kind of annoying me, and get a little bit more food variety. I don't find the fishing docks, again, the real stars are the gatherers' huts. If you just want a lot of food, make just gathering huts all over the place, and you are going to be just rolling in it, just a ridiculous amount. Again, a little hunting is good because you do want the leather, and we are out of stored clothes, so we might want to consider building a tailor relatively soon. I think what I'm going to do, because we are done kind of building, I'm going to go ahead and queue up some more buildings with the knowledge that they might not be finished for a little bit, and then that's okay. Oh, I can't put you there because that wagon is in the way. That's highly inconvenient because that's really, really where I wanted it to be. Although, I suppose what I could do, I mean, I could tear it down, and that's fine. What am I looking for? The tailor here. If I put the tailor down like that, and let's turn the view to the side. So like this, okay. I'm putting a finger on my screen, right where I'm going to want to put the edge of my market. I think that'll be a gap between them. But you know what, that's okay. Okay, good. So I'm going to get the market set up, and then what I'm going to do is tear down the storage wagon at that point. Make room to actually finish out my roads and feel good about that. Fish starting to come in. Good. I mean, obviously with one worker, they're not going to produce a lot of food. But again, our food supplies are growing, generally speaking. I'm just feeling happy about giving them a little bit more variety. And that'll be that. House of three. They're still got plenty of room to put out some more kids. Builder, blacksmith, fisherman, woodcutter. Those sound like pretty good careers to be living there. And in fact, more people who are sort of laborers and builders will move into the middle of the town, therefore guaranteeing that all the people living in this side are going to be working local jobs. Apparently, we're maxed out on the number of logs that we've got stored, and that's okay. I suppose we could increase the log limit a little bit, because we do go through it pretty quickly, especially with the firewood. Now we'll do that. We can, again, free them up to do other labory things. They'll come up and pick up the stone and whatnot. I really would like a counter that showed me the effective laborers at any given time, because or some indicator somewhere else here that would show me that, hey, these people aren't really working, because then I could safely be like, all right, so obviously I don't need six foresters. Let's bring it down back to 4, and then I can assign these guys to some other career. Like, we actually could use a few more builders right now, so let's go and do something like that. And then we'll just keep an eye on the supply of various things, for example. Or, move them from foresting to mining, because we will want to set that up relatively soon. I don't think I'm quite ready for it, pretty soon. In fact, what would be pretty good, well, actually, that's right, we want to finish the market first. As soon as the market finishes, then I will take this down, and then I will build the tailor right where I wanted that, and extend the roads out a little bit, and then possibly build another house or two. Again, food situation, not too bad. Try to keep the population growing, and then set up our mines. And then we'll be in a pretty good sustaining state. The mines do expire after a while. Oh, we got another... Oh no, that was a while ago. Middle of winter, everyone is warm, everyone is fed, everyone is happy. We're actually full of tools, which is pretty good. I could bank more here with the intention that I'm going to be selling it later. I think I'm going to leave this off for now. And again, let them take on sort of labory kind of duties, and mostly just not eat into my entire iron supply, because I will need that for mines. Mines do require some iron to be built, if I recall correctly. Now, with the foresters, the fact that they're not chopping down trees, I'm wondering if, I'm also preventing them from planting as efficiently, but I feel like with this indicator, and the little shrubs all over, it's planted pretty damn good. I think we're going to be just fine once all these trees start to mature. We're going to be in a relatively good situation. Go. That is finally being actually built proper, and we'll just let that finish. And actually, since it's almost done, where is that? Remove structures. So yeah, we'll just tell them remove that old little wagon, which will be fine. So they'll tear it up and put all the crap on the ground, or then bring it to a storage depot or something somewhere like that. Oh, this takes a lot of building. We've got 4 builders doing that. It's pretty stunning to me. Food production here. We did do 100 fish with one person again. I think the fish can do about 800. And that puts them, I don't think, any more efficient than crops, although perhaps a little bit safer. It's still like these gathering huts are just, they're overpowered. Look at the number of roots. And as far as I know, I may be wrong, it may not be true. As far as I know, all the food is more or less equivalent in terms of individual nutrition. You just want variety. Yes, we will go ahead and... Wait a minute. Laborers bring stuff over here? Automatically? Oh, no, this is people grabbing the goods from there. Okay, so, but you do need a vendor to bring goods from afar, so we will give them one vendor to do exactly that. And now we will go ahead and lay down some more roads. Oh, wait, the tailor. That's right. Production, tailor, like so. Oh. No, I'm not quite lined up the way I thought I was going to be. Uh-oh. Oh, well. So, the corner's going to be a little funky over here, but that's okay. There you go. We'll expand it all the way over to where our fishing dock will be. And that's fine. And so our builders will have something to do again. And then, yeah, we're going to go and we're going to at least put it down. So the mine has to be built into the hill. Sometimes they can be hard to place because half of it's got to be flat and half of it's got to be in a hill. Thought I'd be able to place it here, but looks like not. Maybe right over here? Again, the poor forest. That's okay. As far as I can tell, the mine doesn't actually encroach on the forest. But we need people living nearby, too. That's actually very inconvenient. Maybe across the river here. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep our dirty, smelly industry across the river. Okay, and with that in mind, we're going to build another bridge right over here. Like so. Get that done. Now, I mean, people would be able to get there without a death march this way, but this will be much, much quicker. So we'll get mine, quarry, and a handful of houses over on this end of town. That's only leave them quite far from the market. Well, I can put some houses right on the shore here. That wouldn't be too far from the mine. And at least they'd be really close to the market, so they'd be able to get their goods pretty quickly. And I think that might be an acceptable sort of middle ground there. Lots of goods kicking around. I don't know if there's like much reason to put like tons more vendors here. Maybe later on in the game. Maybe when there's a large population base and they eat through this stuff extraordinarily quickly, then you will want more vendors at that point. But otherwise, we're okay. So leaving some goods over there, but I think it keeps getting carted back and forth. Let's take a look at where our vendor is. Yeah, indeed. Oh, now she's getting something to eat, but yeah, she keeps carting goods over in this direction. Now, there should generally be food available for these houses most of the time, because the food does get delivered to this storage barn, so they'll usually get first crack at it just because they're nearby. But sometimes it might come into this situation where we'll actually have to run all the way into town, which will suck. And the firewood situation won't be perfect either, but we have a lot of firewood, and they do grab the firewood, I think, in chunks of like 50 or something like that, so that'll last a decent amount of time. Resources, we are a little bit low on stone. I think what I will have to do is, because I'm not sure if we still have things queued up or not, but listen, clear cut all the stone over here. We've got enough laborers. We should be coming in at a relatively decent pace. Grab more stone over there as well. I guess we don't have much in the way of iron either. And we will need iron. Okay, I'm going to make sure to queue up, grab this iron right now. Oh, and a little bit over there. And what it will do is also clear up more spot to plant trees, which is what our forester's primary job is. Food situation is still amazing, fantastic. Got random deer right next to our market. In fact, you can't get food any fresher than this. Just go over there and catch your own. Forester's Lodge. So we could probably, well, that's still full on logs. Ah, there we go. We will assign one tailor at this point. Keep people in some relatively warm clothes. Be nice if we could get some sheep from one of the early traders. That is something that would be quite nice, because then we could get wool and make like super warm coats. Which I hope means they have to burn less wood, actually, which would be quite nice. Population still ain't bad. House is not completely full. We will want to expand them soon enough. They still have room to make more kids now, which is good. But you can get in a situation where like they can't expand, and therefore everyone just dies of old age, which is pretty miserable. Well, I suppose it's better than the alternative. Dying young. Dying young is definitely worse. I will go and plop down one more house. Right here. We'll go back to back. you know, slow, steady growth. Lots of food, lots of firewood. Definitely cover another person. In fact, I could probably very safely just drop down 2 houses at this point. And you know what? I will. I will definitely do that. And what I'm going to do is road up this way. And actually, I'll go ahead and put in the diagonal here, because this is going to be a high traffic area. Got to just skirt that edge of the forest where we can. Again, if we end up nibbling at the trees a little bit, I'm not going to cry too much. What are you waiting for? Stone and logs. Well, we got logs, and actually we're good on stone as well, so mostly it's just our builders are busy. See, they're busy building roads. Or waiting for goods to be delivered. Something like that. And they can be busy folks for all kinds of different reasons. I think I am actually going to increase my log limit. Because I'll probably eat through this pretty aggressively at some point. Especially with more houses, we're going to need a lot more firewood. So, especially after winter or in midwinter, we're going to go through it really quickly. Okay, so we've got this. Let's go ahead and drop down that mine right here. Can we get closer? No, this seems to be about as close as we can get. And I hate that it's not like totally visible afterwards. It's a little bit annoying. But we'll do that. And I guess what I'll do is also put down the quarry wherever I can. I guess I'll put it the other way like this. Oh, right next to there. We'll build a road there. Let's go ahead and draw that out right now from the bridge. And then I'm going to put a nice big stockpile on the other side. That way the miners and the stonemason, that's not way too big, but it'll be fine. Maybe I'll build one house on this side, actually. But that way, yeah, the miners and the stonemasons, what are they called? Stonecutters? Stonecutters won't have very far to deliver that goods, or rather, maybe the laborers won't. And then even then, it's not that far to get that brought to the market, because the market does bring all kinds of goods, not just finished goods. So they've got log and iron and everything there. So I think I figured out mostly how this works. Oh, I can pretty much get rid of the stockpile at this point. I mean, I'll leave it there because right now there's no significant cost to it. And actually, I don't think the laborers bring things to here. I might be wrong. I think they might bring it to the stockpile. And certainly people are using from this stockpile. So, yeah, I was going to build all my mining and stuff over here. I guess maybe this forest here will end up growing back. Still not a very big area to build a forester, though. Although I guess I could build a bridge here. And that all of a sudden becomes kind of acceptable. Yeah, that might happen. We might end up with a forester gatherer right over here. And this would be a pretty sweet spot for fishing, I think. Because I think the amount of water coverage is what counts. But I'm not sure. It might just be, you have to be on the water to fish. And then after that, the only question is don't overlap with any other fishing docks. Which could be. Food situation, still pretty darn good. Good. And resources, actually no, we'll prioritize getting this stuff done, which is actually going to require just a lot of cutting down. We need 60 things removed here and 24 in total, but 20 more removed there, which actually, again, you don't lose this stuff. This gets added to your stockpile. It's like perfectly legitimate and fine. It would actually be very convenient if it built this stockpile first, because then at least they'd have somewhere nearby to plop it down, which is actually what's happening over here. They're walking all the way over here to drop off the stuff that they're cutting there, which is not very efficient. You know what we're going to do then? We're going to pause the construction of these other two to prompt them to finish the stockpile first. And it is an oversized stockpile, but that's fine. Unlike, you know, crops or anything like that, you're not going to go wrong by having an oversized stockpile, other than the fact that you're using up a whole lot of space that you might want to use for something else. So, I can... Again, we'll leave the builders at effectively all-purpose things. We'll go ahead and maybe we'll pop up our number of fishermen just to make sure we continue to have a nice big food store going on. Philo the woodcutter died during childbirth. I've never seen that before. I have literally never seen someone die in childbirth. Well, certainly not in real life, but not in the game either. Damn, there are a lot of things that can kill people. I've seen people die in a mine cave-in. Right? That was pretty scary. Like, oh, geez, okay, that can happen. But childbirth, that's, I mean, realistically, yeah, that can happen all the time and quite frequently. Sucks, though, because that effectively cuts our population down by 2. Both the mother and the child are no longer potential citizens. And that's kind of disappointing. Stockpile is done. Fantastic. We'll go ahead and unpause both of these, I suppose. Even though I could let one finish before the other. But I don't think it makes much of a difference. And we've got lots of resources stored, so that it'll be easy to build these. And then, hopefully we'll get our population to keep going up and up and up so that we can work all of those things. I'm very close. Once we get the mines established, I'm very close to increasing the amount of stored tools we're okay with. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll build a trade depot and then tell them to store, like, I don't know. Well, you know what? Actually, yeah. As I say, 100 materials. What'll happen though is they'll instantly drain all of our stockpiles, and then people don't go to the trade depot to pick up goods. So then it's possible people complain about not having any goods, and then when it gets produced, like eventually you'll get it where if this says tool limit 50 and you've got 100 stored here, you'll still end up with 100 stored at your market, or 50 stored at your market for people to use. So it's good, but until you reach that point, the equilibrium is a little bit wacky. I guess I can put this down and just like specify something like 40 tools. So it leaves still 10 in the city, and then start the production again, and then we'll slowly edge up. But I could also just boost this number here to 150 for now, build this, put a need of 100, and then lower this down to 50, and that would be a pretty sane way of doing it. But first, I want to make sure that I've got these things produced, because they do take a fair amount of resources to build. Oh, they don't take any metal at all. Oh. Oh, well, all right then. Let's go ahead and increase this then to 150. We'll get that, and then, yeah. And then what we'll probably do is just keep building a bigger and bigger stockpile of tools to trade, because you get pretty good money from them. You can also get really good money from coats, but I don't tend to have that many coats. And then selling raw resources kind of sounds like a sucker's bet. Firewood's not terrible, actually. And so with that in mind, let's go ahead and increase our fuel limit here. We will go through a fair number of trees. Let me go and put a forester or two back in there. Groovy. But firewood I like to use to like make the difference, and mostly sell off the tools. Now, it could be that like per resource used it's about the same, but it's sure as hell a lot easier to manage. Let's go ahead and initiate one miner. Whoops, that's not what I meant to click. I meant to click this one, and we will just collect iron for now, which is going to be fine. We will want to set up a second mine for coal. Actually, I should have plotted that out already. Forgot about that. Forgot about that. Oh man, we can almost do it here. Like so close. There's probably some trick to placing this that I don't know. We're definitely gonna need some houses over here, aren't we? I'd really like it if we could get a mine to work. Oh, actually, we can get there, which is not... It's not great. But it's not bad. I'm going to pause it for now, but that's going to be the coal mine, probably. Or actually, what I like to do is work this one for iron for a little while, and then switch over to coal. Because you ultimately need less coal than iron, and then you're not too worried about losing stuff. It kind of sucks that, like... You do have to specify. They each have individual coal limits. It'd be nice if like they worked iron until like they ran out and then they started working coal, but I don't think that's what they do. Iron is low. Firewood reserve is low, but we're working on it, so that's all right. We've got our extra houses, so people are going to start popping out more kids. Excellent, wonderful. And I can cut back on one true builder and apply it at the quarry, just to get the question mark to go away. Makes me feel better when they're not there. And what we'll probably do is queue up another house on this side of the river, like I was discussing. We'll build it right next to the river itself, and then we probably will build a second one. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and queue both those up. And that's going to be fine. Like, this fits 15 people at each one. Well, you can tweak the number as well, but I'm assuming that, like, 15 is the maximum practical number. So we're going to need a lot of people living in this neighborhood at some point. So there could be a lot of houses living all the way around this river here, and then maybe a few over here for, again, that secondary mine. I could just switch production back and forth, which might happen. For now, I'm going to leave it on iron, because that's what we're going to need early on. We'll keep just producing the iron tools, and that'll be okay. At some point, we'll be able to switch over to steel. I still don't know what the difference between steel and iron is. I don't know if that's explained, actually. Might be under... Where's the blacksmith? Boom. Steel tools last twice as long. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure if they work faster or just last longer. Twice as long is pretty good. Now, you are using... Ignoring the logs, you're using twice as many resources to build them, which is, you know, you can't ignore that. But it means fewer trips back and forth to the blacksmith. Now, what I will say is I don't think that I would sell the steel tools, because if I recall correctly, iron tools sell for 8 and steel tools sell for 10, which is not enough of a price bump. I think what we do is we keep... we might actually end up with 2 blacksmiths. One making steel tools with a low limit, and the other one making iron tools with also, I guess, a low limit here. But all the iron tools will just get basically stored for trading purposes because it's effectively so much cheaper to make. We'll see. All right, population-wise, 2 and 2, good, 7 kids. We might even end up building a school soon. Certainly things are going much better than in the last town. Quite a bit. Oh, it's a hill. I was going to say, why is there an empty spot here? What's going on? Yeah, all right. The hill is fine, is fair. Hunting cabin, still not producing really that much going on. And the gathering cabin, hut, still producing ridiculous amounts of food. Huge, massive amounts of food. To the point where it's like, it might be time for me if I can just like build another gathering hut over here and then just drop like 4 houses down. And just start the explosion boom, or the population boom. Which... kind of tempted to do. Why wouldn't I? Yeah, I feel like the food industry needs to have a little bit more balancing. We'll see what happens soon enough. Just gonna drag this out straight like that, and then food production, gathering hut. There we go. So I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll bring you to your flush to the shore there. Good. And you know what we'll do over here as well is we will build us a herbalist. Good. And I will build, again, I don't want to knock down too many things, but I will build a storage barn. So these places have something close nearby to drop their goods at. And follow that up with a couple of houses. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and build stone houses. Because that's how I roll. There. That should be pretty decent, actually. Oh, and we could build another forester over here if we wanted to, which might not be a shabby idea. Actually, I think I'm keen on that. If we're going to do that, though, we will also build just a little bit of a stockpile. Actually, cancel. And build a stockpile on this side. Oops. I think it just auto-saved on me. A little 4x4 stockpile. And a forester's lodge. Oops. I only ever use one hotkey to rotate. I'm going to build it here. I think that's going to be fine. Again, we might not work them all to the max, but that's okay. You know, we can deal with that. Let's go with up to 3 builders. Just leave the 2 hardcore laborers set up there. And that'll be fine. And yeah, I think I'll feel, once this is built, it'll make me feel pretty comfortable enough to go ahead and spam out some buildings, especially once we know we've got enough resources left over there. So it's a bit of a walk, but these people shouldn't have to walk very far, except when they want to get coats and new tools. And I don't think it's going to be worth, for 2 houses, I don't think it's going to be worth putting another market. We're mostly just going to use one big central market here, and have most of our population concentrated here. Again, I guess mostly the builders and laborers, hopefully, I think. Another adult, another laborer. Let's go ahead and drop him into the builder role. Still going up on food. Again, if we had our city hall, then we'd really be able to graph our food amounts too and know for sure if there was a trend going one way or another. We'll get there, but not quite yet. And while I'm here, I'm going to designate some rock collection and iron collection, just because it's nice and easy and shouldn't really hurt anything. In fact, I think a lot of this was already designated and is being brought there. Because again, especially with just one, we're not producing a lot. 8 stone last season. It's really, you don't get a lot out of these, which is why I wasn't prioritizing building them. But as long as you're willing to accept the slow burn, it does work. And then you also aren't sending your people like halfway across the world. Oh, we don't have a herbalist yet. I'm only going to build 1. I believe we'll be able to hit the herb limit, herb or herb, depending on where you're from, limit relatively easily. And in fact, the herbs are a pretty good one to sell as well. Can't remember. I think they might sell for 4 per unit. And assuming you've got a healthy population and a decent old growth forest to pick your herbs from, you should end up hitting that 100 really, really easily. And then, you know, just start building your dock and stowing things there. So yeah, we are out of stone and iron, so I can't start shipping my stored tools anywhere, but we'll get a slow trickle in from that, and also from the laborers, of course. Builders are mostly going to be acting like laborers right now because there's nothing else going on. Gatherers huts, we've got 2 there and 2 in the other place. So the individual counts as any one is going to drop, but still it's going to be pretty decent. And then very soon we will buff up their number. Yeah, we really don't need more fishing. Just if we max out our gatherers again at 8, we're going to be just smoking in terms of how much food we've got. Alright. What I'll do actually very soon, not quite yet, I'm going to pull back on the number of work with the builders back down to 2. And just allocate some more miners and stonecutters, I suppose. Or actually, I'll just leave them. They'll turn into laborers and deal with this stuff, and that'll work okay. Yeah, I like that. I like having some laborers sitting around as just laborers too. In case someone dies, they automatically take the place. It's very convenient that your roles basically stay the same as long as you've got a little bit kicking around. Plenty of berries. People aren't going for the berries too much, or the onions. For me, I'd take the berries or the onions. Kind of weird to combine the two, I suppose. I do love onions, though. I mean, just so simple. Just like an onion soup. Oh, fantastic. And really, if you want to make, like, people hungry in the house, just grab a frying pan, put a little olive oil in there, and put some diced onions in. And just, like, sit back and wait until people come into the kitchen salivating. What are you cooking? Nothing. I'm just frying onions. I'm just doing this to taunt you. Look at this nice big forest going on here. And again, it's not, you know, it's not old growth in a sense, but it has been around for a while. It's got nice big trees, and you can clearly see that there's the little plants that are pickable by the different roles over here. So, there we go. A few little saplings. I think these might be onions. I'm not sure. Some of these little bushes might be the berry bushes. I really don't know. Yeah, so again, our resources here are trickling in. Let's go ahead. We've got the extra laborers. We're going to go ahead and drop 1 extra miner and 1 extra person working the quarry. And that'll feel pretty good. And I'm actually happy with our little town. I'm going to take a short break. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.